Good afternoon. I'm so glad to be here. I'm glad that you've come so that we can begin to share information. I'm always excited about what is happening in all of our centers as we continue to build and to grow our centers and make sure that you have the resources, the specific equipment that you need to make sure that whatever center that you're operating in is always the best. And so we wanted to come together because, as you know, a lot of us know 2020 is a very important year in terms of electoral politics, but it's also a very important year in terms of resource and opportunities for our community. And in doing so, we want to be assured that Newark gets its fair share as it relates to getting accurate data count and information for the census. What's so important about that is, as you know, we are the largest city in the state of New Jersey. And for some reason, Jersey City has been trying to overtake us for the last couple of decades, which will not happen if you leave it up to us, right? Right. And so we're going to ensure that we stay the largest city in the state of New Jersey by making sure that we provide our residents and yourselves, and we need your help and assistance to ensuring that we get accurate and good census information and data. Our mayor is on his way here. He's arriving from a panel discussion from the National Action Network about gentrification, which really ties into our census report and the importance of it. But in the meantime, we have our deputy mayor here, Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Aquiles. Let's give her a round of applause. She is leading the charge of our census fight and ensuring that every census and every household is counted. And the importance of that count, as we will have in our conversation today, is going to allow us to begin to have the resources and the information that we need. We also have our assistant business administrator with us. I'm going to let him come up at this time to lead us a little forward and introduce our speaker. We have some wonderful snacks and some wraps and some water that we want to try to get to. Now, at the time of the discussion and as we move through, the mayor will come in and we're going to acquiesce and at that point turn the discussion over to our mayor of the city. Is that all right? That's all right. So let's give our assistant BA Mike Green a nice hand. Y'all can do better than that. Now he's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy. He does 10 push-ups a day. He eats right. And so y'all clap it up for him. All right.
Thanks. How's everybody doing? Good afternoon. We're here. It's very important, as you all know, with the census. Census means a lot of money to the community. Something that I learned, which I didn't know, for the state of New Jersey, it's about 17.5 billion with a B dollars. That's a lot of cash, which I wish I had. But unfortunately, when we all participate, that's money that we can make sure not only comes to state of New Jersey, but can come to Newark. Like Pat said, there's also that push and pull that goes on with Jersey City, who is going to be the largest municipality in the state of the state of New Jersey. But for all of us, it's so important to be counted. And we'll have the feds come up. I like to call them the feds, but they're the people from the census that's going to tell us the rules and how things will be implemented in 2020 to give us some background so we can explain to other people, not only to other seniors, but also to our family that still reside here. And even if they don't, if they reside in other parts of the country, we want everyone to be counted. The most important thing that we've probably heard is there may be a question about citizenship. We're not sure about that yet, but the important part to that is whether you're a citizen or not, it's still important to be counted. Everyone in the household should be counted. Even the young children, because sometimes we forget, you just had a newborn baby and, you fill out the census paperwork and you forget that little child. So everyone, it's important, everyone is counted and put on that paperwork. One big thing that's different this year in 2020 is that's going to be electronic filing as well. So that's a little bit different. I know I'm used to filling it out through the paperwork. But now what they're allowing us to do is do it through a computer, and even better than that, we can fill out through our phones. So that's something we can pass along to everyone. So we're trying to send this information, get everyone involved, and be cognizant of what's going on with the census, because it's a lot of money. Besides the money, as Pat alluded to as well, it's the political power. Based upon, as we all know, the population within your municipality, population within your state, means how many representatives you'll have in the House of Representatives. So it's just so important for us to fill out that paperwork and be involved. Just like voting, everyone says be involved, this is just as important, being involved in the census. It can't be used against us, but it definitely helps us to be counted, to be heard. With that being said, like I said, I like to call them the feds, but it is the census. They're going to give us some background information. You can please come up, and you can tell us more about it, go in depth, and more importantly, I want you to please ask questions, because there is something new. Like we said, now it can be filled out electronically. So all those questions we can ask now, and that information will also be played on channel 78. So people, as they're sitting down, they say, oh, okay, I didn't know that, I didn't realize that. It'll be on social media, on the website. So all those questions that we have, he can answer for us. So not only for the people here, but the people that are watching can learn too. So please, you can come and provide that information, background, and you can introduce yourself as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ian Hull. I'm the Deputy Regional Director for the New York region of the Census Bureau, and we're responsible for all the data collection activities here in New Jersey. I'd like to thank you for inviting me here today to discuss the census. You are all trusted voices in your community, and we're excited to discuss the 2020 census with you. Earlier this week, we passed a critical milestone for the 2020 census. We are exactly 1 year away from Census Day, April 1st, 2020. And a successful census is easy to define. We must count everyone once, only once, and in the right place. And it sounds like we need to count everyone here in Newark. My message is simple this afternoon. The census is now. Although we'll count everyone formally next spring, there are many critical activities that we need to do today to get ready for this count. As a little background, the census is mandated by the United States Constitution, and we've been doing it every 10 years since 1790. In fact, Thomas Jefferson was the first director of the census. Then in 1790, we only needed 650 enumerators to count roughly 3.9 million residents in the 13 states. At the time, New York City was the largest city with only about 33,000 people. In 2010, the Census Bureau needed around 635,000 people to help us conduct the count. And we counted approximately 308 million people. To give you an idea of the magnitude, conducting a census, the census is the largest peacetime mobilization that the U.S. does. In 2020, we anticipate that we will need to count approximately 330 million people living in approximately 140 million households. There are two areas that I need your support to help ensure that we get a complete and accurate census in Newark. That is hiring and serving as ambassadors of the census. Let's first discuss hiring. We will be opening an area census office here in Newark this summer, as well as numerous other locations throughout the state. We need managers to run these offices. We need supervisors and clerical support to help manage the operations that these offices will oversee. While the census is a national event, we will only be successful if the census is conducted on the local level. To be effective and efficient, we need members of the community to work in their own neighborhoods. It is critical for us to recruit and hire from every neighborhood here in Newark. The majority of the staff that we hire for the census will be short-term temporary positions. The Census Bureau is eager to partner with groups like this to hold job-related events. The pay rate for jobs in Newark begin at $21 per hour. We provide paid training and reimburse travel costs associated with working with us. This is a great job for our retired friends, a second job for anyone looking for additional spending money, or a fantastic opportunity for those that just like short-term work. I saw some shirts around here this morning, but when I first got here, that say Seniors on the Move. I love it. And then while we were waiting to get started, some people were dancing. I love this energy, and this is the energy that we need to help ensure we get a complete count in Newark. You can apply for these jobs on mobile devices from the comfort of your own home. You simply need to go to 2020census.gov/jobs to apply now. We also have resources in the back of the room with that information listed again, and then I can also help provide information if you need it. I'm going to pause for a moment right now and recognize one of the colleagues that's here with me from the Census Bureau. Pat Green, who's standing right now, is a partnership specialist. She lives and works here in New Jersey and is a great resource. So if you want more information, make sure you get Pat's information before you leave today, and we can discuss more of these job opportunities with you. There are 3 key messages that I want to convey this afternoon about the census. These are the same messages that I hope you can share with your families, with your neighbors, and other people in the community. That the census is safe, that the census is easy, and that the census is important. The first message is critical, that the census is safe. We recognize that if people do not feel safe, they will be reluctant to complete the 2020 census. Protecting data is my top priority. More importantly, it's the law. The Census Bureau is bound by something referred to as Title 13 of the United States Code. That prevents us from releasing any information that can be used to identify an individual or a household. We will only release information on the aggregate about the entire community. The Census Bureau employees, even the employees that we hire temporarily, are bound to follow this law, and there are stiff penalties if we violate this law. The census is easy. There will be 3 ways to immediately self-respond to the census this decade. For the first time ever, people will be able to complete the census online. You can do this from a smartphone, from a tablet, or on a computer. It'll be very easy. You can also respond to the census this decade by calling a 1-800 number and talking with a census representative. So you'll have both an opportunity to respond online or by the telephone. And if you choose, as you've probably done in the past, there will be a paper form that you can use to respond to the census. We will provide direct support online and on the phone in 12 non-English languages. In addition to the 12 non-English languages, we will provide additional support, including online tutorials and paper guides in 59 non-English languages. Finally, if someone chooses not to respond online by calling us or completing that paper form, census takers will visit all non-responding housing units to collect the same information that is on that form. Again, I want to emphasize that everyone will have the ability to complete a census form on paper and mailing it back to the Census Bureau. Census packages will be mailed to the residents of Newark beginning around March 12th through March 20th of 2020. The census asks very basic questions about each person living in a housing unit, including name, age, date of birth, sex, Hispanic origin, race, relationship, and possibly citizenship, as well as some other operational questions that just make sure that we haven't missed anyone, which is critical. We need to ensure that we have a complete and accurate count here in Newark. And finally, the census is important. I can't underscore this enough. Think power, legislative boundaries, congressional districts. The census will reapportion the seats of the House of Representatives, impact congressional and other electoral districts, and ensure equal representation. Think knowledge. The census provides invaluable information about a community's people, providing governments, schools, community groups, and businesses information to grow and better serve their community. This information informs decisions on where businesses may choose to open in Newark, the need for more street construction, or expansion of hospitals. And finally, as the other speakers indicated, think money. More than $675 billion annually flow into the states from federal government programs based on census counts. In fact, it was recently estimated that New Jersey receives $22.7 billion annually from federal programs that use census figures to determine how much money is allocated. These include programs such as Medicaid and Medicare, WIC, food nutrition programs, Head Start, public housing, highway construction, and many others. Just counting a few people in Newark will have a negative impact. We must ensure we get a complete count. Now, I recognize there's going to be numerous challenges this census, and we need to face them together. And that's where I need your help, to be a voice in the community, to help explain to your neighbors, to your families, to your friends, that once again, that the census is safe, that it's very easy to complete, and that it's critically important. You all can serve as these trusted voices. We want to work with you to understand the challenges that you think we will face in your communities. Then we want to work on solutions together to develop the right messaging that will reach your communities and neighborhoods so everyone understands what the census means to their community. In closing, please remember that this is your census. We only get one chance. It only happens every 10 years. We have to live with the results for the 10 years. But I'm confident by working together, we can achieve the most complete and accurate census possible for Newark. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give another round of applause to Ian Hall. We know how important it is now. You heard the circulation of dollars, why it's important, how we can benefit. And so to inform you and let you know more of how important it is, we're going to ask our mayor to come up. Y'all put your hands together for your mayor, Honorable Mayor Raz Baraka.
Oh, y'all fancy. Say Newark Westmore Senior Center. Boy and Rec. Oh, seniors on the move. I need to be with y'all. I hurt my back. I can't be on the move too much. I was doing something that I had no business, thinking I'm younger than I actually am. I hurt my back. Now I'm going through it. But we want to thank the folks that came out and spoke to y'all, because the census is important. I want us to, we're taking it very, very seriously. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Quilez, the Assistant Business Administrator, Mike Green, and everybody who helped make this possible today, Pat Council, everybody that works with our seniors. We need y'all, and we need you to tell everybody in your family, because we know you're the boss of the family. To get that word out and let everybody in the family know they have to be counted. And people can't use your information against you in the census either. So I'm sure he said that to you. So I want you to be clear on that, that it's illegal for people to use your information on the census for other things. So it's important that you let people know that, so you're not afraid. You fill out that census so we can be counted. I keep going back and forth with this man in Jersey City. We keep trying to take our crown over here in Newark, New Jersey. We want to be the #1 city in the entire state. You have to continue out that and count our people accurately. We have to do that. But more important, y'all, there's a lot of money that comes for some of the stuff that we have to do for you. A lot of money comes in, from the federal government based on the number of people we have in our city. So maintaining our count is extremely important, so we can get all the entitlement dollars that we deserve as a city, and get more based on our numbers, because I think we've grown. I know Newark has grown, and more people have come to our city, so we need to count everybody like we possibly can. The last part of it has a lot to do with our political redistricting as well. You know, there's a race coming up in 2020 and another one after that, We need to make sure we have right representation based on the numbers that we have. That's very, very, very important because we got some work to do. We got some work to do in those midterm elections to make sure we got the number of congressional delegates we deserve, the number of electorates we deserve, the number of seats we deserve. We need to make sure our voice is loud and is heard here in New Jersey, particularly Newark, so we have full representation on the federal government side because we got a crazy person down there. I don't know if that's everybody's opinion, but it's mine. And we need to make sure we work hard to change what's happening down there, and the census is a part of that in one way or another. So I thank all of y'all for coming out. Hopefully y'all left me some food. Oh, y'all just got it yourself. Oh, man. It was waiting for me. Yes, ma'am.
Is Newark a sanctuary city?
Yes.
Do they count them too in the census?
Everybody is counted. Everybody is counted. Even homeless people are counted. Even homeless people. So that's why we got to hire people to get out there and count as many people as we can. Yep. Some people in the census count their prison population as well, right? Even though those people from Newark, they count them in them suburban towns. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure everybody we know is counted. Everybody we know. Make sure that they count and make sure that they know. Don't be afraid. We can't use your information against you. The government can't use information against you. So thank you all for being here. Enjoy your afternoon. God bless you.